Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. This is Andy Teshorto. Today I'm going to be quickly covering news on one of the recent posts that we might be getting this week of a new ship, and that is the Sith Starfighter. And they've also changed some ship marquee events. So, before getting into this, I'm just going to make a quick, simple video on this. So, if anyone does not know what a Sith Starfighter is, Google it. Sith Starfighter. This is what it looks like. This is what you face in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, or KOTOR, because it's the KOTOR month. Makes me wonder if they're going to go into a second KOTOR month. We'll see. But for the most part, yeah, you're going to get the Sith Starfighter. It kind of has like a similar look to like the TIE Phantom, the TIE Fighter, the Droid Starfighter. It kind of meshes a bunch of different stuff. Then again, it came out, I think, around the time Episode 2 was coming out. So, yeah. Kind of cool. So, Sith Starfighter, in an interview on StarWars.com, and some of you guys have already heard the news from like Warrior and a few other game changers, but hints that a brand new ship is coming. So on StarWars.com, it's the interview, so you can just click it here. Sith Fighter. We have more details in the kit in the coming days, and it'll be a regular Marquia style event, and we wanted you to know. So, and they're also going to be introducing a new kind of marquee bundle per the character and event cadence. So it's the bundle that you buy in the packs. That's cool. Our goal is to ensure players who purchase this bundle also have the pilot to unlock with this ship immediately. Basically, we don't want players to buy a ship and not be able to use it until grinding further. That makes sense. I like that, because if you wanted to purchase the $30 and get like, like 150, for example, or 100, whatever the number is, you would only get the ship and not the crew member. But now they're allowing these to have crew members, so you unlock the ship, you unlock the crew member at the lowest level, and voila, you got them both. Or in some instances, you got like the ship and like 2 to 3 crew members. Like in Phoenix, you have 3. Gar Saxon's ship, it's Gar Saxon Imperial Super Commando, so it's 2 crew members. It just depends on, the ship and stuff. So, yeah, I like this, that they're doing this. And also, I think they're hinting that this ship is going to be the Sith Assassin. It sounded like a lot of the Sith Assassins were those type of, I guess, pilots or most of the crew, but there was also Sith trooper style characters like the Sith soldier. If you've played the marquee events for Jolie and Bastila, they had Sith soldiers and Sith commandos. They could have just done Sith commando or commander, whichever one it was. I always get those mixed up, but yeah, the Sith commander or the Sith commander being the pilot would have been better. It would have given us another Sith. I know Sith Soldier is exactly like Sith Trooper, so I can see why they're not going to give us a new Sith, just basically a tank. But at least it would have been nice if they did, so the Sith have 2 more characters to work with. Because I feel like Sith are going to be leaving the meta just because of Bastila's leadership after it was fixed. And and it has been reported, even some of the game changers have reported, they've talked with development, or the development team, and they're not actually nerfing her. She's working as intended. So we're going to see a lot of Jedi in the arena, which gives me an idea for at least 1 or 2-ish kind of similar arena teams. But anyways, for the most part, yes, Sith are going to go out, even if they decided to add another Sith tank. That would be kind of crazy, though. The Triumvirate and 2 Sith tanks, or so it'd be 3 tanks, and then Nihilus and Traya. That would be insane to fight, I will say. But, and also Traya is probably going to be the main leader for Sith to stay. Well, I'll say that Sith will stay in the arena. It's just Palpatine leadership is going to start dying away just because of Bastila's leadership. So, but anyways, going into it though, I still feel like Sith Assassin wouldn't be the best, especially since the Sith Assassin, Sith Marauder, and Sith Trooper all have skins from Star Wars The Old Republic era, not Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic era. The Old Republic being the Star Wars MMO game that's currently playable. It's a fun game, play it. But for the most part, I feel like they could have done Sith. If they didn't do Sith Soldier, they could have done Sith Commander or Commando and gave us a red skin to the old Sith armor. I think that would have been fine. Even if they did add the Sith Soldier, I don't see that a big deal of that being his thing, because I can see both being a possible lineup for a possible future faction, kind of like Imperial Troopers. And I will cover that in another video. But for the most part, that's what I really feel like. But going back to this though, I really like how they're gonna do this. Now, obviously, are they worth it? Depends on your wallet for one, and also depends on, or it's more of your pocketbook, is what Dex says. Depends on your, I think, pocketbook. I'd have to look that one up. But anyways, and depends on your manners. Haha. No, but anyways, depends on if you feel they're worth farming for. So if you want to, go buy them, go ahead. Usually, for the most part, a lot of these ship or character packs are like the $10 to $15 to $20 ones are not bad. And spending $30 to get a character and ship, it's okay. Could be a little bit cheaper, but at least I know for a fact that the creators of Galaxy of Hero have to be paid, so it makes sense at the $30. So, but yeah, I just wanted to cover that really quickly, and also for the fact I do want to cover some interesting info that I feel like. Well, one, I'm hoping they do add Sith Soldier and Sith Commander or Commando. But two, I hope we see some more dark side based characters. Maybe this is mostly the light side month, and next month's the dark side month. We'll see what happens in that time period. I am going to be doing. I'm going to be soon working on a bunch of different videos covering both KOTOR 1 and 2 characters, ships, etc., etc. Except most of the ships are kind of I know the Old Republic tag has been added in. In KOTOR, I feel like. So one of the things I've talked about in previous videos is the Ebon Hawk crew, or the crew of the Ebon Hawk, and I've recently thought one thing they could do differently than that, so that they kind of signify a difference between KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2, except only 2 characters. Simply, well, 3 characters are technically on both in both games. Canderous, but Canderous would be a different character in SWOGA. But HK-47 and T3 and 4 would have both these tags, and that is Revan's crew and either Mitra's crew or the Exile's crew. I feel like Mitra's crew because Mitra Sirik is the Jedi Exile from KOTOR 2. But KOTOR 1, for the most part in KOTOR 1, being Revan's crew, I think that'd be kind of a cool tag. Kind of like symbolizing, yes, the Old Republic, yes, HK-47 may. I don't see HK-47 getting the Old Republic tag per se, but being part of the Revan's crew tag as well as Mitra's crew, I think it'd be great. And that would be both crews of the Ebon Hawk for KOTOR 1 and 2. I think that would be great, a great opportunity. So hopefully they incorporate that kind of thing, have a faction, and then only a couple of leaders would count towards that, and that would be Bastila, Revan, or of course in Mitra's crew it'd be Mitra and Kreia, because Ant is not really much of a leader, and Kreia kind of fills the Bastila role in a way, but I like Bastila better. But for the most part, those be the leaders, and then of course HK. I still hope that he gets a rework this month. That's what I think a lot of fans are hoping, and I hope they don't disappoint. Especially giving us a rework for HK-47, giving us an amazing droid leader, and on top of that, having T3 and 4 being like a cleansing, healing type support character would be huge. So. And I feel like one thing that T3 could do is something similar to R2's Number Crunch. Not all the exact same stats could be used, but like maybe offense, defense, yes, but like maybe actually adding tenacity and something else because you got Old Republic, then you got Revan's crew and Mitra's crew. So that's kind of my thoughts, predictions, and hopes for the future of SWOGA, or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, for the Knights of the Old Republic characters of 1 and 2. I will definitely be going in more depth. We still have yet to see missions, T3M4s, and Zalbar's or Big Z's kit. And I'm sure they'll be dropping some of that this week as well as next week. And again, I still hope HK's reworked. Maybe they'll do it this week because it's Dark Side, and then they'll release the last 3 characters next week. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I'm sure tomorrow they'll start revealing stuff. Last week it was Wednesday when they started revealing stuff. Of course, I'll be at work, unfortunately, so if I cover anything, it may be the morning of Thursday before I start work. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. I would also like to say that it's great having KOTOR characters, more KOTOR characters come in. I think the first few KOTOR characters to ever come in was Sith Assassin. Yeah, it was Sith Assassin. Oh, no, HK was the first one to come in. Oh, I'm sorry. Wow. But HK was the first one to come in. And then it was Nihilus, Assassin, and Trooper. Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin. And then we got the recent ad of Scion Kreia, or Darth Treya, not Kreia, which I can still see them using a Kreia form. Darth Treya, Darth Scion, and Sith Marauder is what we got. So, yeah, I don't know. I really like so many different opportunities that KOTOR, I feel like with some of the best players, I feel like they're going to make tons of money off of the players, especially the ones that actually pay money for the KOTOR timeline characters. We already seen that Bastila is now making a leap into the arena. I'm sure if they reworked HK enough and given us a great T3 and 4, maybe have some synergy, we could see a Horizon droids again, which means they'd have to rework a couple of Jedi that actually hate droids, stuff like that. Okay, well, I saw this. I wanted to see it really quickly. See if it actually comes in. It's a weird portrait of multiple different... Interesting. I think these are just like skins for mods of the games. But anyways, yeah, I always love the PC ones because you can always mod stuff in so you can get a better looking character, more high in depth. But anyways, yeah, going back to it though, you know, giving us the rework of HK would allow droids to come in. Maybe 1 month they release Mandalorians, starting off with Canderous Ordo and Mandalore the Preserver, which means, yes, that would give us another KOTOR 2 Ebon Hawk crew member, aside from HK and Visas Mar that's already in it. Of course, HK's in both, but yeah, Mandalorians be great to start off with that. I still hope that... I know there's been some posts and stuff that George Lucas didn't intend Jango Fett to be Mandalorian, but because of Legends now, at the time it was canon. At the time, you know, he was made Mandalorian as a Mandalorian, and I think he actually also had some help or had some influence in the Star Wars Bounty Hunter game that Jango Fett was in. You played Jango Fett, and he was a Mandalorian under that, and he became Mandalore, and so on and so on. I feel like Disney's best move, one of the best moves Disney can make right now, is giving us Jango and Boba Fett as Mandalorians, and even giving us Boba Fett to come back in the this new sequel as a someone to support Princess not Princess anymore, General Leia Organa is one of the allies that she have some Mandalorian allies. Oh yeah. But for the most part, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts and hopes for the future of Star Wars and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Man, just look at all the beautifulness of KOTOR brings. I know some of you guys are like, some of these artworks are kind of meh, but if you think about it, this was 15 years ago compared to today. Like, here's a T3 or T7 Republic Astromech. You can see the graphics are better than like that. But still, the graphics are still amazing for their timeline, or the time frame. They're great. some of the best games you can ever play is KOTOR 1 and 2. And I have to admit, I haven't played it, KOTOR 1 and 2, for like 2 to 3 years now. I really got to get back into playing KOTOR 1 and 2. Because sometimes I'm skipping on names of characters and allies and stuff. So it's kind of a refresher that KOTOR 1 and 2 characters are slowly starting to come into the game. And they are becoming some of the most powerful characters, aside from HK. Hope they rework them. But other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this update. The Sith fighter, his crew member, and any of the other characters you want, hope for in the game. Thanks for watching. You guys have a wonderful day.